home and wondering what to do while we're at the stay-at-home orders. It's a beautiful sunny day, and every day just kind of runs together right now. Welcome to Breakfast with Bev this morning. I'm Bev Curtis with House of Brokers.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Alan Curtis with House of Brokers.
And who is my better half. And Alan this morning is going to be doing the do-it-yourself type job. And in fact, Alan has been able to fix or do just about anything ever since I've known you 25 years ago or more.
Right.
So, and we're over here at one of our properties that we own on Rainwood Drive. And we had it as a rental home, and Alan has gone through and is completely rehabbing it from top to bottom. And this morning, he is actually working on a new tile backsplash. So I'm going to kind of turn it over to my guest this morning, Alan, and tell us kind of how you started this and what's the process. And for folks at home that want to get very ambitious, what would be the steps that they would take to do it?
Well, it
I'm going to
does.
switch with you.
It does take a little bit of ambition. I'm kind of a trial by error type of guy. So we basically picked out a backsplash to spruce this property up a little bit. We picked out, this may be a little bit more tedious than what the average person would do, but time and patience, and you can get it done. So I basically just found a nice pretty straight side to start on. I started over on this far right side here, and what we did is these come made in sheets. You don't have to put up every individual little piece. They come made out in sheets. So I've already pre-cut some down. Fairly minimal tools of what you'd have to use. The biggest thing that most people probably don't have would be an actual wet tile saw. Those are things that can be rented very easily. Everything else is pretty small little tools. Like I said, started from one side, work my way down to a corner, then I'll come back out from that corner and work down this wall. A lot of little things in kitchens to work around, switches, plug-ins. It's going to take a little bit of time, patience, and cutting to kind of fill in those holes once you're done. I guess the best way to explain is I buy pre-made mastic. A lot of people like to mix their own. I think it's easier and less messy. That's one less mess I have to clean up at the end of the day. Buy a bucket of pre-made mastic. It's going to go on the wall with a trowel. You can use a little notch trowel. Basically want full coverage on the back of your tiles, and then those are just going to stick straight onto the wall, a little adjusting. Then you'll have a top row that will go on and get right up underneath your cabinet. Doesn't have to be exactly perfect top and bottom, because eventually that's going to get grouted in to cover any kind of imperfections or anything that you might have on that wall. Close to finished product is what you see. Once this dries overnight, we'll come back and we'll put some grout on it to grout in all of the lines and the cracks. Like to use a grout that's made for more of a high moisture area. That way you don't have to worry about mold, mildew, anything like that. And really that's kind of the basic process of putting it on. Time and patience is the best advice I can give.
Well, and that's what I was asking this morning, talking to Alan before we got over here. I was like, how did you actually learn how to do all of this? And I said, who taught you? And he basically said, myself. So it's one of those things where I think you've always, it's just, you know, if you want to do something, you kind of look at it and figure it out.
I like it, enjoy it. Really anybody can figure it out. It's not rocket science to figure out. You got the proper tools, it'll go. I've seen a lot of the tile back, or subway tile, I guess that's what it's called, which is more oblong rectangular shapes. Those are really easy to work with because you're just running a straight line, straight cuts, not having to piece in a lot of different pieces. You can start at one end at the other, and you're done. So if you're looking to do a project or try it out on your own, you might want to start with something just a little bit bigger. I remember the first job I ever did years ago were just bigger square pieces. I don't know that this is something that I would have tried my very first time. But really, honestly, I think after you do it once, you probably get the gist and of what you're doing. So again, kind of the biggest tool a person needs is a wet saw, a tile saw. If you don't have one, you can rent them. I know there's places out there, the rental places that rent pretty much any type of tool. You can go in and rent one for a day or two, probably for a minimal cost.
Yeah. Well, and in this particular kitchen, it's a brand new kitchen. So he gutted it out, so it's brand new cabinets that he set himself, new handles, new appliances. Basically, you know, the stove's not in yet, obviously, because he's got to finish the tile work in it. But kitchens and bathrooms, guys, is pretty much where to kind of spend the money at, because I think those are the higher ticket items that most people don't have the know-how or want to do, and they're just frankly expensive if you have to hire it out. So if you can do these projects yourself and have the sweat equity in it, it definitely makes a huge difference as far as pulling a premium price when it's time to sell. So, okay, anything else you want to add this morning?
I really think I know I probably told you a lot in a little amount of time, and I can make it sound maybe a little simpler than it really is.
Do you want to put a piece on for them real quick?
Sure.
As I say, before we wrap it up, let's have him actually do the process so you can actually see it. And thanks to our daughter, Olivia, she is actually filming us this morning. So let's raise the camera right there where they can see. And
basically what we're going to do, like I said, is you just got your wall mastic. Like to use a high quality mastic. It's going to bond a little bit better. Basically what you're going to be doing is you're just going to be troweling on some mud, just kind of in some nice easy lines. Make sure you're going to get good coverage for that first piece of tile. And if you are a professional out there watching me, don't judge.
The product turns out really well, so that's all that really matters.
So I've already taken this first piece, cut down the bottom. So basically all you're going to do is you run your mastic out. You're going to take this piece here, line everything up at the bottom. Like I said again, this edge doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to end up having a grout line and then some caulk put in it. And I just like to use a kind of a gum, a rubber float, and just push all those pieces in, make sure everything's getting nice and tight. And that's it. Then you just have to come back. This is where your tile saw is going to come in handy, because you're going to have some little pieces here that you're going to need to cut and fill in those gaps with. And really that's it. Just move on down the line.
Okay guys, well as you can see, it's not that hard of a process, and it's something that you can certainly do it yourself. You can save the money, you can take great pride in the work that you do, and it will certainly add value and appeal to your home. So next week we're going to pick another do-it-yourself project. With this time that we have, I know a lot of people are cooped up at home like we said, and are getting a little tired of all this quarantine stuff, and once this passes, it will be a great time to put your home on the market. So if you are in this idle time and wanting to do projects, think about kitchens, bathrooms, flooring, touching up paint, redoing your landscaping, all of those things that add curb appeal and charm, and where somebody is going to want to call your home their home someday. So we will join you next week. I know there's been a lot of people that have sent in different topics that they want us to cover, so we'll go through the topics and pick them one by one, week after week, and this will be our do-it-yourself series. So
yeah, and
thank
if you've got, absolutely, like Bev said, if you've got any questions or things that you might want to see done that might be easy for a homeowner to do it themselves, let us know. If it's something that I'm confident doing, I'm more than happy to walk you through it. No major electrical, no major plumbing, no major heating and air. I'll leave that to all the professionals.
Yeah, those are the licensed people that we use for sure.
Electrical, I'll turn the light on and off, and that's about it.
Yeah, yeah, very good.
So let us know.
Okay, thanks guys for joining in, and a special thank you for our daughter Olivia, who is operating the video here. We greatly appreciate it, and we will see you next week.